now. This is recording now. And Martin, you are the co-host now. Martin is the co-host. Santiago and Diego Mas, sorry, Martin is the host. Santiago and Diego Mas are the co-hosts. And I'm officially on the chat, welcoming everybody. I'm thanking, of course, Martin for his grades. 1 second, because you know, sí, amigo, no hay problema, disculpa. Sí, 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 sí. Chao, 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 chao. I'm
So I'm going to
officially,
remind constantly, well, the people who attend to fill in the forms and to be attentive to, well, to, to all the invitations we have in plurilingualism.
yeah, and I know that Martin has done a very good job in this and other events. And today I know this won't be the exception. And thanking you for, well, first sharing your knowledge in English, and not only that, but your projects. And I'm pretty sure that these will enlighten others to continue researching and maybe learning from the language and whatever they do in their daily lives, integrating to speaking English as it is today. Of course, the team that is accompanying Martin in this job, thanking you, of course, because you're part of the success of this event. In the end of the event, please, there is a link, and I would suggest Santiago and Diego, please go like in the end or of over the middle and the end, repeating the link, the link there. So you and the rest of the attendants will be evaluating this event, not only for Martin's delivery, but also for yourself. Thank you very, very much. So have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Javier.
you.
Bye-bye.
Well, let me open the session with this invitation. I really appreciate your help and your contribution to this idea. The purpose of this is to share your knowledge, your experience at doing research, working on projects. And it is a story that somehow we couldn't reach a bigger public today, but the most important is that this is going to be hosted in a YouTube channel later. So maybe today we might have not many people, but you are going to be constantly being observed at the webpage of the University of Antioquia. And here we are to share the experience of doing research, the experience of running a project. Of course, first you are going to speak about the projects, and later we are going to exchange ideas, experiences, doubts, mm, probabilities, and it's a conversation, of course. It is not as when you go to a panel and there are experts. Well, you are the experts, and there are experts judging what you do. No, this is not any competition or any moment to see who is the best, who has the greatest idea. Is just to share, and in this sharing, I hope we all get what we call the awareness of what we are doing, and that we find ourselves that security in what we are doing, and then we project this knowledge and this procedure. Other people will see the motivation you had, the elements you have taken into account, the procedures you have taken into account, the difficulties you have been through, the successes that you have had along the process. And that's so important because that might be the lantern for many other people to see the path to do other things. So, and thanks to the people from the each section, because they helped us promoting the activity, extension and research. They have sent the invitation to many people, and just both of you accepted. That is why we have to express our gratitude for both groups, because I know many people received the invitation, but many people decided not to participate. I know that after they see this video, they're going to say, next time I want to be there because of the quality of your work and the good elements that I have perceived in all the process. So I want to introduce each one and then we start. Let's begin with the group. We are going to begin with Caucasus group and then we are going to continue with each sectional group and then we speak and exchange ideas. So, Diego Mas, introduce yourself and the group. Well, we are going to have Diego Mas, we are going to have eh, Maria del Pilar, Yuri, and Carolina. And in here we are going to have Santiago, Juan Jose, and whom else? Is Santiago, Juan Jose, and
And just as the semillero had a class with a teacher, so only us we were able to be here.
oh, I see. They gave you permissions. Okay. Now, lights, camera, action, Diego. Diego Mas. Hello.
Hello everyone. How
Turn
you
on
doing?
the
How's
cameras,
it going?
please. And
Everything okay?
so far, so good. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Turn on the camera so people can
Hey,
see
Diego, how are you?
you.
I'm great, thank you. How is it going, Santiago?
We're
Diego,
fine, man. Thank you.
Wait me for a sec, please.
and share the PowerPoint presentation. Uh,
Okay.
the rest of the group can introduce themselves as well. So in here we have to wait for a second. Diego is looking for the PowerPoint. So this is a space for us to exchange information. And well, I want to say thanks to Juan Camilo Parra, Santiago, Nicolás, Juliana, Camilo Henao, Eliana, all the people who are here to enjoy this presentation. If you have any uh, doubt or question, remember that you are going to share it with us. And second, that if you want to say something at the beginning as well. So, Diego, do you take the presentation I shared with you with the comments, or do you take the first one you had?
This is the presentation, teacher. It's a bird presentation according to what we talked
Well,
yesterday, or I don't
well,
know when.
let's begin. Let's begin with the presentation.
I don't know if you are listening, hearing me well.
People, do you listen to Diego very well? If so, thumbs up or say yes, sir.
We hear you, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Uh, Lights, camera, action.
Okay, let's speak about our research. So we have the presentation and the problem, main concepts, methodology, and conclusion. And in this point, in conclusion, we are talking about the difficulties and speaking about advances of the project. So I hope you enjoy this presentation. So the title of our project is Science Teaching Towards the Development of Social Emotional Skills and Improvement Scientific Knowledge in the Inclusive School. So the project is in our research group recognized by Colciencias, endorsed by a research group called Innovaciencia, which belongs to the Faculty of Education. It's directed by Jose Joaquin Garcia. It is a project developed in Caucasia, Antioquia, which was presented for the regionalization core. So this is our project, and this is the project team. We have our main investigator, Professor Carolina Cárdenas Roa. We have young researcher one, that is me, will speak today, this afternoon. Also, young researcher two, Adriana Milena. Our thematic advisor is Jose Joaquin Garcia Garcia. And the co-investigator teacher, Professor Yuri Benitez. So this is
Are
our
Yuri, Carolina,
team.
and Adriana here?
Yes, I think yes. I don't know if they want to say something.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Introduce yourself. Carolina, introduce yourself. Tell us about you. Carolina, Carolina Cárdenas is here, is she? Adriana, are you here? Adriana Milena,
Yes, yes.
please introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
Okay. Give me a second, please.
Don't worry, be happy. Yes, Santiago, I agree with you. It's great. One wishes for these models to have been applying in schools. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because it is how to control the emotions and do research. So continue, Adriana.
Okay, good afternoon. I am a young researcher interested in learning how to do research. I want to know and get familiar with contextualization in research and to identify and work with the student interests besides recognizing the role of emotion in the learning process.
Fantastic, wonderful. And Judy, is Judy here?
Good afternoon. My name is Yuri Benítez, teacher, school, institución educativa La Misericordia Caucasia.
Excellent. Thank you, Judy. And Carolina Cárdenas, is she here? Apparently, Carolina is not here at the
No,
moment.
teacher, I don't see her.
But as long as she shows up, she can introduce herself and participate. Let's continue, Diego and group.
Okay. So our story motivation for this project. Personally, I'm interested in. I like to learn every day. I don't know. I'm passionate about the knowledge, about learning things. So this is a chance, an opportunity to me to learn more about education strategies and anything that can help me to improve my career, my personal life, acquire skills to work with children. So that's why I'm here. I'm part of this project. The passion for the knowledge for learning. I don't know if my partners.
Adriana Milena, what's your motivation? And Judy.
When the teacher Carolina presented project to me, it seemed very interesting and great opportunity to grow academically and personally. I am assuming as is a challenge. You learn and transform my pedagogical practice in the classroom and put aside traditional teach and focus my natural science class on the reality in the student, what they live in the context, way they interact to watch and ensure scientific learning in the from solving socio-scientific problems in university learning design.
Excellent, fantastic. Continue. Sorry, I interrupted.
Another motivation we have is that in the classroom we meet a student with disabilities, and that is important and necessary to think about their education process.
Excellent, fantastic. Look at this, these elements, how to change the focus, the work and methodology, and invite the students to do research or analyze the context and to be inclusive with people with disabilities. Fantastic, wonderful. Adriana,
My motivation is now and recognize the importance of contextualization of content, students' interests, and the role of emotions in the learning.
the role of emotions in learning, that's fantastic. I am going to make a little stopping here because I want Santiago and Juan Jose introduce themselves as well, and we alternate. So in that way, we don't find that we get immediately contextualized with the people. So Santiago and Juan Jose, introduce yourselves, please.
Of course, sir. Hello there, guys. My name is Santiago Vélez. I am a aerospace engineering student right now. I am in the 5th semester, and I, with my mate, we have a presentation of our semillero.
Fantastic.
What's the
Good
name of the
afternoon.
And Juan
semillero?
Jose, introduce
What's the
yourself.
name?
The name to answer Diego is Delta V.
Can you
Okay.
spell, please?
DELTA V.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm Jose Mejia. I'm currently in the 5th semester as well as my mate here, Santiago. And yeah, we will talk today to you guys about this semillero. So Santi, if you have the slides there.
But do we show the slides right now or
No,
after?
no.
Okay.
This is
Sorry.
introducing, and we are going to alternate. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So we see little by little. Take it easy, Juan Jose. Jose, your look is
Sorry,
different to mine. Look at, I am very hairy, and you are resilient. Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice. Well, it's a joke. Thank you.
It's a
And
trap.
look at now that we know the people, and if the public want to say hello, people, my name is this, and I want to be here because of this, you are welcome now to introduce yourselves as well. If there is anybody who wants to say, hey, hello, I am interested in the topic because of this or because of that, you are welcome. For example, Carolina Cardenas can say, hey, I want to speak about this, or Camilo, any other person wants to introduce yourselves? Anybody wants to say hello before we begin? So we get familiarized. The family here is speaking, Oscar Julian Rendon. Would you like to say hello?
Hi,
Valentina,
I'm Claudia.
hello,
Hey.
Claudia.
I
How,
am English teacher for kids. I am here to practice my English. I found this invitation in my mail from the university.
excellent, fantastic. That's
Okay.
That's wonderful.
No more.
And now you are going to find something very interesting in this guys, that is that how they motivate themselves to work on projects and do different things in classroom. So this is the space for you. Milena, do you want to say hello? Natalia, do you want to say hello? Julian, Andrea, do you want to say hello? Anybody?
Hello.
Hello, Juan
There.
Camilo Parra. How are you? Turn on the camera so we can see each other. How are you?
Um, I, I am, my name is Juan Camilo Parra. I'm a student of psychology. I'm the 7th semester. I'm here to practice English too. And I am interested in the research groups, how they are working, and to know about their work. And that's it.
Fantastic. Now we have psychologists in here. So interesting for both topics and for these crazy guys. And because the teacher is not crazy. Oscar Julian Rendon, hello. Do you want to say hello? And Oscar,
Yes, hello, everybody.
how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
So happy to have you here.
Oh,
And I
fantastic.
hope you get so motivated to learn and participate.
Yes. And well, I would like to introduce myself. I am Oscar. I am studying business administration, and also I like too much this space because we can learn a lot, and also we can practice English and improve the listening.
Excellent. That's fantastic. That's a great idea. And this is the way. And look at the guys here sometimes need people from your area because to make calculation of the projects and budgets and
Oh
how to
yeah.
commercialize, how to propose that idea to other people. So you might be included in one of these projects, and that's a good idea, or
But we
not,
need
Santiago?
money. We need money, man.
We need money. We
We want-
need people who knows how to make money. That's great. Yeah, Eliana, hello. Do you want to say hello?
Hello, teacher.
Hello, Juliana. How are you? Tell us
Eliana.
about Eliana. Sorry. Uh, Introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
I am teacher of Math Physics in the Institución Educativa Entre Ríos, and I want to practice English in the conversation. I believe that to talk the topic emotional skills in the school is very important for me because the skills very important because have a role in the people. Also, according to OMS, the skills emotional are life skills. For example, how do you say in English? Empatía.
Empathy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And no more.
Excellent, fantastic. So you want to analyze that, to use it in your classes, and to raise empathy toward the topic and the interaction with people. Excellent. You're going to notice that these people who are going to make the presentation today, they have a great, character. They have that energy that makes you feel like, hey, interesting talking to these people. Fantastic, excellent. And let's see, any other person?
Yes, my name is Natalia. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, so good.
Okay, so I
With
wanna
energy.
say something about me. So basically, I'm here because I consider those spaces important for people, spaces in which people can practice, improve their skills, right? And regarding teaching and learning a language. And also, I'm a teacher. That's why I consider this topic essential motivation in the in the learning process, not only for children but all kind of students. That's why I'm here, because I find this topic really interesting.
Fantastic. And you're going to notice the process of how to create semilleros, and the motivation and the work these guys do is also so interesting. So thank you, Natalia. And we have two great groups today to speak with. Fantastic. Camilo, now, do you want to say hello?
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Camilo?
Good thing, good. And you?
So far, so good. Turn on the camera to see you again, man.
Okay.
Excellent. Oh my God, you are so comfortable there in the sofa. That's fantastic, full of energy. Introduce yourself, Camilo.
I am in Medellin. I am studying languages of University of Antioquia. I study Japanese in English.
Fantastic. Japanese and English. Oh my God. Say, Martin is a handsome boy in Japanese.
Marty in Japanese.
You say Martin is a handsome boy in Japanese.
Okay. Ayanata wa Marty o Heikude chides.
Excellent. Fantastic.
That
I
sounds
understood.
great.
Very cool.
Congratulations. Fantastic. Any other person, in order to continue, any other person volunteer? Valentina, I think there is I saw Valentina or Johanna. Tito. Any other person? Nicolas Gaviria. I think I know Nicolas Gaviria. He's from the group of investigation as well, right?
Nicolas is my son. I am Claudia. I thought
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
we
I'm
have
Claudia, the English teacher. I am an English teacher for kids,
I see.
and I am here to practice my English.
Fantastic. Excellent. So now we continue. Any other person? Does any other person want to speak before we continue?
Hi,
Mariela,
teacher.
tell me, Carolina.
Um,
Hello,
Good afternoon.
Carolina. Oh,
Hello,
Carolina
teacher.
Cárdenas is the main investigator. So, yeah, the main
Yes,
researcher.
teacher.
Introduce yourself, Carolina.
Yes, teacher. I am. Good afternoon at all. My name is Carolina Cardenal Roa. I am a teacher in the University and Faculty of Education. I am in the resource in education, inclusive school, teaching for disabilities. No more in the moment.
Excellent.
Thank
Now
you.
thank you, and we are so happy to have you here. Now let's continue. Now we are familiar, we know each other, we have heard each other, so we can continue. And remember that if you have a doubt or question, you can raise your hand or ask the question. It's a conversation. Lights, camera, action. Continue, Diego Mas.
I will follow with the contextualization. Context smart is ensure Professor Carolina this part, please.
Continue, Diego. I am continue.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Diego wants you to speak about this, Carolina.
Okay. Pásale, please.
Okay.
In the research arise for analysis for problems. The first is relates to arguments of the following organizations: United Nations, the World, excuse me. The first is related to arguments of the following organizations: United Nations, the World Commissions on Environment and Development, in the UN development programs. These organizations mention problems and states of global social injustice, which generate conflicts and violence, multicultural and technoscience society that are scientific, social, and political illiteracy and citizens who do not build and tutor. And second element corresponds to the solutions so far constructed to the problems on science illiteracy. When the education focus of the education and illiteracy works on the practices but movies and away from the cultural nature and abandoned aesthetic, social, economic, cultural, historical, and educational elements. And third elements corresponds to the why science
and how the curricle does not respond.
Excuse me, no listen. A third element corresponds to the why science in planet and thought if the curricula does not correspond to the needs and the social realities of the students. They are elemental and the memory-based methods. Science knowledge is dehumanized and there is this regard for contextual and active learning. For a fourth element corresponds to the problems derived from inclusion process that are oriented towards an education for all. Wherein students with without disabilities in the classroom participate opening the door in the interaction basis of the diversity of the students who are present in the inclusive school and must be taken into account.
Now, let's make a little stopping here. Look at that. This is so important for all of us because in here, remember the system of education we have had or been through is totally different to what they are observing here. Well, they are observing the problems in the way the schools have been, led and the infrastructure and the methodology that they have followed. And in here they say, well, how the United Nations has as a purpose to state that, give me 1 second.
Teacher, excuse me, I know listen because as
So in here, there are more social justice and the conflicts, the multi-ethnic situation.
Yes.
So all these elements want to be taken into account. And there is another element that isn't taken into account is that the scientific illiteracy, right?
Yes, teacher. In the moment in students is scientific illiteracy because the solutions in the teaching in the science teacher no response in the reality social, economic, cultural, historical, and reality the students. Because but the students interest in science, but a school no interest in science because teaching science teaching no response and reality school reality the students.
Yes,
Ay, no escucho casi nada.
Science has not been tackled as an element to work in classes. And in here, it also takes into account the inclusive method that is in here you mentioned the inclusive school, that is the people with disabilities are included because many people think they can't have an access to science. but when science is planned and taught in the curricula, it is successful.
Yes,
If you
teacher.
have any question by now, or Santiago or Jose, because for example, Santiago and Jose have been through different methods, and one of the methods is so explorative. I don't know if they see something interesting in here. You can act. Let's continue.
Well, I have a doubt, something that is very interesting to me. In the second element, the teacher told us, she told us about an abandon on aesthetic. I would like to ask, in which way did you see an importance on aesthetic? I believe it is very important. As an artist, I believe is something great that is part of making human beings to have reasons to live, to be inside in an aesthetic world, in some way of thinking it. I mean, not an aesthetic in a plastic world, no, but just aesthetic, like for example nature and all of this. But I don't know if you refer exactly to this, or you say aesthetic in some other way. In which way do you?
Exactly, Santiago. That's a good interpretation of this element. Aesthetic is, it has to do with that you are talking about.
Arts.
More, it has to do with quality of people. Yes, personality, what that those skills of the people that maybe the society and the school doesn't recognize, doesn't get to recognize those skills, those qualities of the people, of the student, in this case, of the children, of the student, of the adolescents. But I think you have a clear idea about this element, Santiago.
Oh, thank you very much, Diego. Great.
It is interesting with Santiago, because science is always taught from methods that do not really on teacher music, dance, see? Always teaching science, laboratory, observation, but reality students always dancing, theater, literature, music. For example, a ver, un ejemplo, the teaching microbiology, mycology, in the garden, in your house, is mates, dancing, music, dancing, writing. Is important. Reality school, the reality, the students, because science teaching no puede ser el teaching solamente desde el arte, desde el conocimiento de las ciencias. Debe incluir music, arte, teatro, ciencia, por ejemplo, in the physics, ons, las ons, las ons, in the music, in the dance, in the case of no listening person, the dance teaching ons, for example.
Yes, that's interesting. And another ways to understand education, basically. Another ways to access the knowledge, to get the knowledge, to get learning.
To use other elements to observe the
Yes.
physics and the word. Yeah. For example, what she says is that you use music and you understand at the same time the waves, the physics, and the mathematics. Let's continue, Mr. Please, Diego.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, don't worry. So what's the question? We are here. So our question is, how much does the science teaching strategy that ones that uses the social scientific problem solving in DUA or UDA or design influence on the formation of social emotional skills on children and adolescents? That's our question. What do you think about it?
It was very direct.
It's a big challenge, Santiago. Professor Carolina, do you want to say something about our question?
I have a problem the connection. I see the TV. No, I not see.
I don't know if someone has.
Yes,
something
I
to
moment I
say.
don't know listening. No, I don't know say what is the problem. The problem is the internet connection with you. So
In the problem,
do you listening to me?
In the moment I choco is very difficult in the internet.
Let's continue so we later
Okay.
we can ask more
Please,
questions. So
please continue,
Yes.
Diego or
Okay.
other person.
yeah, so how much does the science teaching strategy, the one that uses socio-scientific problem solving in DUA design, influence on the formation of socio-emotional skills on children and adolescents? Let's continue.
Okay. So we have the main concepts of our project. We have the UA or design, universal design for learning, in English. Resolution of social scientific problems and social emotional skill. So our young researcher Milena is in
Yes.
charge of this part.
Okay. Bueno, ULD, Universal Learning Design, DUA, Diseño Universal de Aprendizaje en Spanish. Universal Learning Design include educational environments, programs, curricular, and service, designing to make learning experiences accessible and meaningful for all students by recognizing and valuing individuality. Resolution of socio-scientific problems are considered those social problems in which the cause, the possible way of solution, or both fall on some application of technoscientific knowledge being real and close. They enable the analysis of global problems that characterize the current situation of the planet and the consideration of possible solutions. Socio-emotional skills are those that include not only the development of cognitive or mental process, but also affective areas such as awareness and emotional management, relationships with others, and projection towards of society. Thus, they allow people to know themselves better, manage their emotions, set goals, and move towards them, build better relationships with others, make responsible decisions, reduce aggression, and increase satisfaction with their lives.
Finish.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to say something about the UA or Diseño Universal del Aprendizaje, Universal Design for Learning. Universal Design for Learning is a way of thinking about teaching and learning that helps give all students an equal opportunity to succeed. This approach offers flexibility in the ways students access material, engage with it, and show what they know. Thank you. So these concepts
let's
are
continue.
main concepts in the development of our project. We continue with, okay.
Look at that. There is a question or a concept that later you can tell.
Okay.
Eliana Isabel says, DUA is an utopia. Is an utopia. Later you can say, because of your experience, you can tell if it is an utopia or not.
Yes, okay. So we continue with the methodology.
Please.
We have the phases of the project. We have 3 phases of the project. So Professor Yuri, please.
Okay. The methodological strategy of the project is focused in 3 phases. The first initial evaluation phase. In this, the initial socio-emotional skill of the student will be characterized through a pre-test questionnaire. The second, proposal, design, and implementation phase. In this phase, in methodological strategy will be designed and implemented based on universal learning design, el DUA, socio-scientific skill for teaching science in inclusive context. In the third final evaluation phase, in the phase the student skill in socio-emotional competencias, it will be evaluate read through a post-test questionnaire. Finally, the correlation between the academic achievements of the student and their performance in the socio-emotional competency test will be analyzed.
Thank you, teacher. So
In here, you are going to speak about the difficulties, the advances,
yes.
and then you are going to answer Eliana's question about if this is utopical or is it practical or real.
Yes.
Juan Camilo says,
Teacher, excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Juan Camilo.
No, Tito.
Oh, Tito, go ask the question.
Everyone. Thank you very much, teacher.
You're welcome.
I know it's clear for me. What is the objective, the project? What is the topic, the project? Excuse me, I don't know. It's clear.
Don't worry. Excellent. That's fantastic. Diego, would you please tell Tito what the objective you have in mind? What's that objective you have in mind? What do you want to do with this?
Yes, teacher.
Diego, I have not listened. Diego, I not listen.
How?
Yeah, I
Carolina
don't know
doesn't-
listening in this moment. I don't know speaking in this moment. Oh yeah, I know no listening.
Diego, are you speaking? Diego.
Sorry,
sound
sorry, teacher. Can you hear me?
Now, yes, I think.
Yes,
Objective,
Diego,
our general
yes.
objective. Are you asking me about the objective? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Determine the influence of the application of a methodological strategy of the science that use the resolution of social scientific problems in design DUA. So we want to implement the strategy in design or in DUA design, DUA. So we want to, or our purpose is determine the influence of the application of this strategy. Okay.
So what I notice is that DUA, or universal
Yes.
learning, it is that it is inclusive to make people live and experience the knowledge in with different senses, the emotions and different forms, so the people get closer to the reality and not as a concept that is written on a board. In here we have other two people speaking, and I want to give them the voice as well. We have Juan Camilo Parra. Juan Camilo Parra, can you tell what you have in mind or what you said? Juan Camilo?
Okay. I write a comment that said that I think the traditional approach in education has been pretty homogeneous in the sense that does not take into account important individual aspects of the students. So it is great people like you is concerning understanding the human being in a comprehensive way.
Yes, as a complex that is a unity. Very nice. Thank you. Eliana has another element, another comment. Eliana Isabel Cardona says, Eliana,
Hello.
hello.
The comment is, I believe that DUA is a utopia because the education system, a teacher for 40 students or more. Personalmente, I am teacher of more 48 students in only group.
That is a fantastic question, and it puts it into wow, yeah,
Yes, it's a
48
big
students
challenge.
in a classroom.
Yes,
Yes.
Professor Carolina.
Tito is asking another time the word.
In a grade is very difficult.
Eliana,
Also, hello.
Eliana, I question to studying what to study? ¿Qué estudia?
Yes,
What do you teach,
education
Eliana?
master.
No,
No, Elia, I am going to type it on the chat. Eliana, what do you teach? Mathematics.
Maths and physics, and I am a student of education master
Excellent.
at the university.
Yeah. I understand your question. It's interesting. I think do you the thing the same universal of learning, but this universal learning, I not think the person, one person, no, all person, the same all person. I know no listen, no blame, no. Is the thing es pensado.
It's for everyone, for all people.
All people.
Yes.
Bueno, Diego me ayuda. Desde voy a escribirle desde process cognitive
Cognitive process.
sí, cognitive process.
Carolina, you can. My suggestion is think about the answer. You type it, and in a second we come back to the answer. But what I notice is that in this universal learning approach, what they have is not a person-to-person contact, but a methodology on which each student is the one who goes and practices and gets his own teacher somehow. But we are, or the teacher is the guide. But Carolina and is going to write the answer and be pendant on this. Diego, finish with these difficulties so we can continue with the other group.
Yes, sure. So in this process of the project, do you know about this pandemic? So the pandemic, I think everybody has problems, have different difficulties. So in our case, we have had some difficulties. For example, the pandemic has affected us because we have not been able to visit the places. It means the school, in this case in Caucasia. So due to the pandemic, we cannot be in the school. Another difficulty is the money that is required to buy the implements has not arrived on time to buy the test. So in this project, we have to buy the test, and these tests come from United States. So due to the pandemic and all the situation, the money, we don't have the money right now in this moment. But also we have advances. For example, the information has been available and we have had access to it. Other teachers have been interested in to make part of the project. So that's important because we need more people, more teachers interested in helping to get the goal, the objective of our project. And I think that's all.
Well, thank you,
Okay,
Diego,
teacher.
Carolina, and we are going to make a parenthesis in here. Anyhow, Juan Camilo, all the people can add the questions, and later, after the presentation we are going to have with Santiago and Juan Jose, we can have a conversation about both topics. Okay? Thank you, Diego, Carolina, Yuri, and Adriana for introducing the topic. And now we are going to listen to Santiago and Juan Jose, and later, after them, we are going to have the general conversation, right?
Yes.
And I invite the people to send the comments, questions, and ideas on the chat so we don't forget the comments, the questions, the opinions. So, and if you are there, you can invite other people. So this is so interesting. So come on, lights, camera, and action. Santiago is finding the slides. Excellent. It was lost in the crowd of slides. Now here you are. Lights, camera, action. Santiago, turn on the mic.
Hello, guys. I'm sorry. I was lost in finding this because Zoom has this bar right here on the top. But a reminder of what Javier told us to fill, a Google form, I believe. So for you guys to fill it if you haven't.
Excellent. Thank you, Santi, for reminding me. There is a Google form to evaluate this event and to make comments. So please don't forget to fill it in and tell us what you think. So
That's Oh, well, guys, well, as you already know, we are Juan Jose Mejia and Santiago L is myself. We had the opportunity in being on the birth of a semillero. So we have in this semillero three main projects that are right now being developed. Their blueprints are already established. And we're just going to talk to you a little bit over all of those projects because, well, I have to say, I have to say congratulations, of course, because you are already, we can see that great investigators. That investigation you just showed to us, it is a great example of well, how an investigation, what in which topics an investigation has to focus. We have to apologize because we don't have so in depth in our investigations, because we wanted to show you the overall of our hotbed of our semillero as a project, a personal kind of personal project that we intend to make it for all, that Juan Jose and I and our third coordinator called Laura Duque. She's not here right now because, as we told you, the semillero is actually right now in a session. So she's commanding that session. She couldn't accompany us, but it is a project that the three of us see as almost like a life project. So we want to share that with you. I don't know, Juanjo, you want to say something, add something, start with something? You tell me,
No,
man.
it's okay. Go ahead.
Perfectly. So I will talk to you first. Well, this is Delta V. You're kindly invited. Any ideas you have. We want this hotbed to be a hotbed of a lot of things. We are from aerospace engineering, but we host different engineerings in our semillero, because we want a wide wide side of education. Actually, we, as the teacher said, we want to expand and to try new things, like, for example, the coordination of our treasury, like, actually making economical campaigns to support the semillero, and at the same time to actually make knowledge of this process, the papers, theses. We want the same, we have needed the same. That's for education. This is the reason why we are very interested, and we were very interested also when you were talking about your topic, because in the semillero, as coordinators, we have faced a lot of challenges in educating our fellow mates, classmates, and ourselves, because in a semillero, you have to face challenges that you have not learned at school, or that you will never learn at university, because the curriculum, the pensum just doesn't have that topic. So you have to learn by yourself. And this has been a challenge in organizing ourselves. So you are very welcome if you want to build any kind of social experiment, if you want to build any kind of actual strong science experiment too, we're very open to that, because the only thing we want to is to get better. And we are actually copying, well, yes, straightforward, the Americans, the United States model of having semilleros, a lot of semilleros, but that together, united, they make bigger projects. So you find people from administration administrating the money of the semillero. You find people from arts, from publicity, making the publicity, the deal of the social communication. You find people from education trying to not only endorse education outside the semillero, you know, divulgation, scientific divulgation, but also most important, educating the same people inside the semillero. So we want to extend you the invitation to cooperate with us, to find ways in which we can put together great projects for Universidad de Antioquia together and aspire to more things, because we believe that as you might have sometimes, you know, faced a bump, a challenge, an obstacle that is, I would like to study this, for example, in classroom. But man, for that, I need indumentary. For example, as I tell you, what we have said is, well, we need somebody at administration, because we know about money, we know how to count money, but we don't know the art of administrating actually. We don't know the art of actually educating people. So if you find those challenges also in engineering, please contact us. We can help you with your research and we can make research together. So excuse me for that very big introduction. Let me start with this. Well, we're going to, as I told you, go for an overall of the semillero. Our name is Delta V in honor, sorry, of the, well, that's the term used in the, that's how we would call the jerga used in aerospace engineering and in physics for, well, what an expression that means actually, well, the difference of velocity, yes, but that can be translated into fuel. When you are talking about delta V in physics, in space, you are talking about the amount of fuel or propellant your ship needs to make some kind of maneuver, to move to another orbit, to go to another planet, or to escape Earth. So that's why we're called like that. We have 3 branches. Our ultimate end is to focus all of them, of course, in research. That's the only mean of this. We have to investigate. And the 3 branches are propulsion, rocketry, control, and attitude. We are part of a movement we had in our career, in which we had one semillero, but this semillero was like, you know, too wide. It wanted to have this topic, have this other topic, sell empanadas too. It wanted to do everything, but it was just focused in one thing, because, you know, at the end, one thing is not the same thing that achieving. So we realized that a good thing would be taking this semillero and telling them, man, you focus in the great thing you have been doing all this time, that was satellites. I'm talking about the Voyager semillero, sorry. You are very welcome to know of them also. They are great. They are our first semillero, and they're very specialized as satellites. But we said, rocketry has to be here because we want to start it right now. And this is the reason why Delta V is here. As you can see, in propulsion, we have some main missions. The main mission, as we told you, is investigation in making great rockets, making great propulsion systems, and having that information compiled for the people that's coming after us. In propulsion, but we have other like goals. Propulsion is the manufacturing of model rocket solid motors and its characterization. We're going to talk about that next. That's our first, well, that's the first thing we're doing right now. Right now, the guys of the semillero are planning and building a little solid motor, solid propellant motors for those that you can see in model rockets of amateur people, you know. The other branch, rocketry, we want to accomplish the participation in annual competitions. For that, we are, for example, well, training ourselves in manufacturing these motors. And in control and attitude, we want to accomplish autonomous landing. I don't know if you guys have seen Elon Musk, SpaceX, those rockets that come from the sky and you say, oh, they are going to crash, but suddenly they are not piloted, they are not being controlled from far. autonomously. They just land perfectly safe and sound. We want to accomplish that one day. And well, we are going to take you through that deal. At first, we are going to talk Delta V as a democratic project. As I told you, Juan Jose and I, we wanted Delta V to be a project in so many ways. We want to innovate because we know it is possible, because we say innovate, but it is actually something in other countries is already being done, actually also in Colombia. I don't know if you have heard of Kratos Semillero in EAFIT. It's a model like that. It's a semillero of a lot of careers that joined, did a bigger project. So they have more funds, they have more competitions, they have more trust, which is important, and they have continuity. You know, people graduates from EAFIT that are in Kratos, and other people that are just entering to EAFIT, they enter to Kratos, so Kratos doesn't die, sorry. So the first project we have in Delta V is democratic knowledge. We found ourselves in a trouble. We were a lot of people trying to be part of these activities, and sadly we were not able always to express our opinion, what we wanted to do. And you know, this is very important because we realized something. If what you do is just study, do as you are told what you study, even in the extracurricular things like semilleros or grupos de investigación, you do what you are told only. But you have great ideas, but you never accomplish them in university. Oh man, let me tell you, after university, you will find the laboral world. You will find only that in your job, you will mostly, at least if you are an entrepreneur, but if you mostly, you will do also what you're told. So you never tried your idea. We realized if we don't try our ideas in the university, we maybe won't be able to try them at all in anywhere. So we said, stop, enough of this. We have to create a system in which everybody at least has the chance to propose their ideas, so they can have a better foundation for their thesis. They have a better foundation for their maestria. So one day they maybe will be able to work in what they have always wanted to work. And we saw that opportunity, so we created a totally democratic semillero. We are backed, you know, we are being helped, backed by Facultad de Ingeniería. They have in their rules, we have to make a fundamental law of the semillero, you know, an acuerdo social and a rules paper, and we use this as a justification to make a democratic semillero. So we are a regular democratic, institution. Here is something bad because we're taking pride, but as I tell you, it is something that is working so good that even Voyager Semillero, that was the first one, were in brotherhood with them, and they actually took the system we created for Delta V because they saw democracy in the knowledge is the future too. So we hope this experiment works. We are sustained into, a lot of social and liberal references, authors, but we're not going to talk about that here because that would be a big extension, but it is an experiment we have. We hope it works. Right now it's working. What it is a system of...
there is a question, Santiago, here that is so important. What prior knowledge must you have to belong to the group?
None. You can be from the first semester. We will find you something to do because the system, it is created to accommodate you in the activities. It is a very, well, it is not a dictatorship, but it is intended to be organized in the way that the moment you get in, you have to compromise into the amount of hours you can have in the week. By that, we will believe you, that we will trust in you, and we will give you an activity. It will be in your time span. That's the only deal. But you can be a teacher. You can be from the first semester. We wanted a wide approach, a wide sight.
So coincidentally, that the approach Carolina and Diego and Adriana are speaking about today will be an approach you can consider because it's universal learning approach. Let's continue, Santi, so
Great.
people contextualize faster, so we can continue with the questions.
Great. Oh, you can, how do you say, interrupt? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can interrupt me in any time, please. All the questions, please feel free. As we were talking, we were telling you, well, the system is made of a coordination made of 3 leaders, Juan Jose, Laura Duque, and myself, and an administration council, which what it does is to balance the power of the coordination. Well, we're going to see what it does, and an ecclesia of members. These guys are those who vote. This is the heart of the semillero. They judge if the things are being done goodly, and for the moment it has been very good. We are 25 semilleristas, and for the moment all of them vote. We had already our first coordinación elections. We were elected, and well, everything is safe and sound. Well, for the moment, as I told you, ecclesia, what they do, well, we want to call it ecclesia, so we contextualize, but it is the members, but they vote yearly for annual projects. The most important thing we want to put here is that in academics, we want the projects to win. The coordinators are just those that execute the projects, but we don't want those things that we see in politics, that it is like you vote for me and I told you I'm going to do this, I'm going to do a pool, like we always had for personeros in school, but we never give you the pool. No, that's not right. We want the projects to win, and then the coordinators are obliged, well, are forced to accomplish the projects. And the administrative board or council, they are in charge of the treasure. The coordinators have to present plans of how to execute and how much the money they need. And this administrative board, made of 7 members, are to say, well, yes, we're going to give you the money for this. A semillero has not a lot of money, so it has to be administrated goodly. And they have to grant the basic needs of the laboratory, because we saw actually that if it is by vote that you will elect the leaders can do what we see in our country, that, well, the basic needs are not fulfilled, so you promise all the basic needs and you win. And no, coordinators are here to execute only academic stuff. None of the basic needs must be touched by coordinators. The members also propose freely their development plans, and they can be as well candidates every year, and they judge the performance of the institutions, if we are actually performing good what we're doing, and they judge what we do. For example, right now we are at paro, but we judge to well, everybody who wants to stick to the paro. It is freely those who want to stick to the paro, help to the paro also. But if they want to do a little bit of research or something, they are not going to be forced to not. They can still work. Well, that's for that topic. Now we're going to tell you about the projects we actually have in academics. in engineering. I'm sorry.
Santiago, hello.
Sir, yes.
One question.
Please.
Thank you. What is the finance, or how do you finance the projects? What is the sponsor for your projects and the initiatives for the research?
Tito, thank you very much for that question. We have three intended funding funds. The two first ones are those that the university gives to every semillero. The first one is Vicerrectoría of Investigación. They have, we actually have it here. I don't know if you see here, Ideación. Do you guys can see this PDF? I'm showing you. Great.
So he's making up the ideas or exploring ideas. And I don't know if Andres Felipe, who has been in investigation, might tell about the process of making up ideas. Yeah, that is exploring, or that is a brainstorming of ideas, something like that.
No, but this is the name of the program the university has. The program is like you say, Ruta N has other names for programs or so Ideación, it is an annual convocatory that
call.
Call. Thank you, sir. It is an annual call that invites you to present the blueprints of an investigation. You say, we want to investigate about this. They have their own parameters. You have to follow them. Each year they change, and they can give you a sum of money. For example, last year they gave to semilleros 2 million pesos for accomplish those investigations if they won the call. The call is not only for one semillero. A lot of semilleros can win it, but your study must be very well proposed. Also, Facultad de Ingeniería has another section that helps with monetarily the same story. You have to propose very well your project. And the third branch of the third way of funding we find, and we actually found for the beginning for this propulsion project, Juan Jose is going to tell you, was private sector help. We believe that we have to always use the resources of the university. They are the best. They are made for us. They are intended for us. But we also believe we have to help university because our ambitions are so big, and we can just compromise them with, hey, you have to give us all the money. So we want to copy these models that are actually already working in other universities, and also in our university, that is crowdfunding, that is searching with brands. We want to do that, but we can do that only with already made projects. We found funding from a private, from Universidad Nacional in Bogotá, that was very interested in one project we were doing with AIA, American, how is it called, Juanjo? I always forget it. American Institution of
American Institution of Astronautics and Aeronautics and Astronautics. Yes.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And well, this person very generously gave us the funding for applying to a contest of AIA, of AIAA. Sorry. Yeah. If you want, we can continue with this, mate.
Okay, so rocket solid propellant motors is our first project. We started this hotbed or semillero about 2 or 3 months ago. and we decided that this project was the correct one, the proper one to start, because it's really easy. So in the image we see a photo of a motor, of a solid propellant motor, and it's burning. You can see the flame going out. And well, this project consists of, we currently have about 20 people working on this, and we divided the groups into four groups, and each one has to investigate. Each group has to investigate about one specific propellant. We have different alternatives, and Santi, if you slide the next slide, please. Well, here it's a graphic demonstration of solid propellant. First, you have to cook it so that you can mix it and have an homogeneous mix. So how is it made? Well, you need a fuel, right, and an oxidizer. So the fuel is actually, it can be made of candy, of sugar. This is another utility that we can find in sugar, besides having diabetes.
Right.
Well, so for example, we can use candy as our fuel. In this case, could be sorbitol, sucrose, dextrose. Well, these are the scientific names, but they are really similar. Plus, we have to add an oxidizer. In this case, is potassium nitrate. Yes, potassium nitrate, and then you have to mix it, right? So it becomes what we see in the right picture. And this is a really, it could be dangerous. You have to know how to do this, follow the instructions, and be really careful. But we will be careful when we do it. And when the time comes, but first we are not going to cook it, but actually just sort of mix it while they are not bonded together on a pan. Well, if you continue, so the objective of this project, well, here, you want to explain this, or may I do it?
Oh, Juan, excuse me, Santiago. I have the question. Excuse the interruption.
No, please.
Do the semillero in the input the different ideas, or projects or idea, yeah. But how do you prioritization the ideas? In this moment, do you work in different projects, or prioritization the project and execute one project in one moment? How do you select the idea, the better idea for the execute the project?
Yeah, thank you for
excellent question. There are two questions. Do you work in all the on all the projects, or do you select? And Carlos has another question. Carlos, what question do you have, or opinion? Carlos. Carlos has a question and an opinion or something like that. Carlos? Carlos, are you there?
I'm so sorry, Martina. I don't have any question.
Oh, don't worry. As I noticed the mic was on. So now, boys, pay attention to this question. Please tell.
Yes. So we have a main project that we're currently working on, and it is this one, the solid propellant motors development, because as I said, it's the easiest one to start. So we are new, and there are a lot of teammates of classmates who don't know a lot of these things. So we are right now we are investigating them, and then we are going. We hopefully we can go to the lab and work on them. But also, so this is the main the main project because it's the easiest one, and but we are also working on other projects with the aid of some classmates that are studying in superior semesters, and well, yeah, also we have a lot of help from our teachers who, you know, give some of they have gave us some advice, and we have been, you know, developing this sort of projects. I don't know if Santi wants to add something to the answer.
Oh, what do you say, man? I mean, as Juanjo says, well, this is kind of our most important project right now because it has more people. It is the easiest one, and at the same time, gladly, it is the easiest one, but also the most like basic one in the terms that we have to start with something like this so we can go on with other things. So it gathered to be a very good project. But at the same time, as Juan was saying, we have a lot of help from our teachers, and we're 25. We're 25 people exactly. Our structure of being 3 coordinators allow us in some sort to focus one of us into each branch. In each branch, as you saw, there are 3 branches, and we have 25 people. We have this administrative conjunction, so we try to put attention to the 3 branches. We're putting a strong arm into this one because the majority of the semillero is there, but we actually have the responsibility by the social agreement that we can't abandon the other branches. And right now there are projects in the 3 branches at the same time. That's that's the kind of advantage our organization tries to give. We're trying. I can't tell you we're actually right now succeeding on it, but we have no problem for the moment, thankfully.
Now we have 30 minutes to go. I mean, not 30, 25 minutes to go. So I think it is the time to exchange information, questions. Andres Felipe says that he would like to know how important is to discuss about these projects.
Okay, so for asking, we finished the exposition.
I don't know if you can, because the idea is to have at least 20 minutes to discuss with the people, and
Okay.
I don't know if you can show the other thing, because we have 25 minutes, and maybe after this, as you notice, they need the platform, so we can ask the people to have interaction with you.
Santi, how about we show then the Boeing
turbine, and
yeah, it's
yes,
like the
Go,
most
please.
fun, the most fun.
You're gonna make them miss the
No, not me.
top
Just
of the cherry.
go show it, but please, anyhow, I invite the people to ask questions, not to wait too long or to interact or exchange experiences, because we don't want you to keep quiet. I mean, yeah, this is for interaction. Go ahead.
Oh, great. We won't delay. We are going to just show you the turbine, and that's all. Well, here we were going to tell you that there are a lot of other factors you have to take in account of the core pattern. All those motors have a core, and because of the pattern, they burn differently, and that's all. We're going to.
Is in there where you use the candy?
Yes.
Here. Yeah, this is
So
the
all
sugar.
of this is candy.
Sugar. Yeah, it's
Almost
there.
everything.
Mixed
So
with
there is
the
clay.
oxidizer, with the nitros.
And the empty space, or the hollow core, is an empty space.
Yes, sir. It is an empty space to be ignited. Solid propellant rockets have to be ignited with a cebo. I don't know how to say that in English, but it is practically with a lighter,
with a grass or that is fat, yeah.
Yeah, no, but you know, no cebo de grease, sino
Oh,
cebo
no.
como un ignitor. So that's
an igniter. Yeah.
Exactly. So the match has to touch the inside walls, and because there are well, because a chemical reaction, a deflagration, is something that relies on time and relies on the path follow. So by the pattern the core has, you will have a different time of burning. You will have a different amount of chemical that it's being burned at the same time. For example, you can see here, these are the thrust and time curves. Thrust, you know, thrust, force, the force of the engine. So you can realize, for example, here in this the most normal one, a circular core pattern, that the thrust goes into always into advance into a positive slope. There are others that don't. For example, this is called regressive, the double anchor, and this was well made by testing and testing and testing. And you will need some of this because of the application you will need. So you want a rocket for a specific thing. So you need that, for example, the thrust is as homogeneous as you can. So you will use a star formation. As you can see here, the thrust like goes up, and it is the most well, like plane of all of them. So you will use a star if you need to have a lot of thrust at the end of the explosion. You will need a tubular and like so. Let's pass to the next one. Well, the test bed. We're going to, well, as Juan Jose said, one of the teams is making actually a test bed in which we will actually prove all the things we're saying, because that's the most important thing. That's from where the literature is going to come. Well, and it is so simple as this. Some $4 are doing a lot sell. $4, $4 is actually very cheap. You just need to want to do the things. You know, this 5 kilograms load cell is enough for the fuel, for the propellant motors that we're going to do. And the other project is the Turbojet, as Juanjo said, but let's show you. We have software for that. The most important thing is that it is already working. It is already there in our invited. If you have any ideas of implementation with any of all the things, tell us. We are a very open. We are an open group. Right now, and it is very important that means a lot. That's always the rest of the video is exactly the same. Well, you know.
Excellent.
Yes, please. Yes.
Eliana. Eliana Isabel.
Hello.
Hey there.
Teacher, I say something about presentations.
Please.
I believe that both presentations can relate through of semilleros at a school. We like teachers can motivate the students to teach science, the different form for the students participate with your ideas, and they do experiments, and they can know new topics, more interesting for they. For example, astronomy, rocket, uh, anymore.
Excellent. And look at that, what we observed in Santiago and Juan Jose's presentation. This work in Semillero demands, in part, what Carolina and Diego and Adriana and Yuri are working on, this universal teaching approach.
Yes, teacher. It's interesting to know these tip projects. I want to tell you that my first doctoral thesis has worked with biomedical engineers who helped my work with prototypes for the teaching of no sé cómo decirlo, chemistry in young blind people than were included in classroom. I think interdisciplinary works is important.
Excellent, very good. We can, Adriana, Eliana, Tito, and all the rest of the people I can see now, because some people apparently have left. What opinion, what concept, what question do you have, Carolina Cárdenas? What question do you have, Andres Felipe? Diego, what do you want to add? Yuri?
Teacher, me, I
Please.
no, but it's my opinion.
Yes.
In this case, is the project is very important in this moment in the science, because do you generate new knowledge, and it's important, but for example, the semillero, because it's important for the student, but they apply the maths or the knowledge, knowledge, the student class, but is the for the create new solutions in the daily life.
Excellent.
Is the grand initiative for the student, and the congratulations that the two groups for the presentation of the project. Thank you very much, teacher.
Excellent, fantastic. Carolina Cárdenas, what do you have to say?
Teacher, please moment.
Don't worry. Tito.
Continue, please. I'm
Yeah.
not listening.
Excellent. Tito, do you want to say something? Tito Segura.
Yeah, teacher. Excuse me. I don't know. I don't know listening. Excuse me again, please.
Do you want to say something, or do you want to ask something to the first and the second group, or do you have an experience to share, or does this motivate you to do all the things in your academic life?
No, no, teacher. In my case, I don't know, professor. I am system engineer. I am the work. I am project management, and execute the projects in the different types the projects, and they use, for example, the methodologies PMP. I am PMP, project management professional, and they execute the methodology, execute the management, the projects. In this case, I execute the different the different levels, the project, the budget, the scope, the time, the projects. In this case, it's very interesting, but for me, the project, because the context is the generate new knowledge is important in the science, the resolve the problem, the life is
excellent. And now you can observe, if you want to help Santiago and Juan Jose in in managing the projects, and Carolina and Diego, Yuri, and Adriana as well. You are cordially invited. Andres Felipe, do you have any comment?
Okay, hello. I apologize. I was just trying to catch up with you because I am not able to see the screen because I'm riding my motorbike while listening to you. It sounds interesting, but I want to know a bit more about this meeting. I have heard some people talking about the project seems to be our special project, but the purpose of this meet is just to make those people show us their works, or what is the aim?
The idea is to exchange information about what they have done, running their projects or semilleros, exchanging that information with the rest of the people, and that the people
Excellent.
feel like speaking in English about their specific areas of knowledge.
Excellent, excellent. Quite interesting. It will be good to see the pictures because I was just listening. But yes, it's quite good to work in research. I myself, at the moment, I'm working in a company developing coding projects, but I have worked too much on investigation, and I can say that there are a lot of opportunities there, and it's amazing to work there. The only thing that is not quite good is that sometimes it's not easy to get the resources, but yes, you can get a lot of different gifts, sort of say like that. But it's amazing to work in research. So
Excellent.
it would be good to be at the beginning to understand the whole conversation. But thank you for letting me just get into the conversation and try to understand the bit that I could.
Excellent, fantastic. Tito is saying goodbye. Nicolas, do you have any question, any idea? Nicolas Gaviria?
No, thank
Teacher,
you.
Did it help? Yes, please.
I want to thank this space because they confirm my thesis of the teaching of science to solving social science problems that will help us to a better world. They recognize diversities and makes in the more human.
Excellent. Diego, do you want to say something before you say goodbye?
Yes, teacher, professor, thank you all for this space of learning for me. It's important to know about your researches, about other people that are working in projects. Very interesting, so thank you all.
I want to apologize because I wanted to have a bigger space, but the point is that remember that I really don't know if there is another class after this, so we have to cut early. And second, I really thank you for making this exchange of information. Look at that. As Eliana mentioned, there are elements in common. The methodology that you are offering for learning helps, and Santiago also noticed that that it would help the groups. Juan Jose, what comment, what do you want to say, what do you want to express?
I want to thank you for the space.
Today, I am sad because I didn't listen to you much.
Well, I mean, we didn't have a lot of time apparently.
Yeah, and that is for sure. And Juan Jose, how do you like the first presentation?
It was quite interesting.
Very nice. Uh, Judy, what do you want to say?
Thank you, thank you.
And Eliana, apparently Adriana left, right?
Teacher, thanks for the space. The topics very interesting and important for me, like teacher. And thanks. Bye-bye.
Don't worry, be happy. So thank you all. Carolina Cárdenas, do you want to say something?
No more. teacher. Thank you very much. Thank you at all. Because I learning in the different context, discipline. I may like in the space.
And Santiago, what do you want to say?
Well, no. First, thank you for this space you gave us, teacher. Sadly, we couldn't say all that we had to say.
I don't really give any space. You create the space because you do the job.
No, at least we had the opportunity to show the world who we are. I am very happy that people from educative sector is thinking in the project that teacher Carolina did, because it's very important. I would wish I would have something like that when I was a student of a school, and I wish you the best in that. I hope that makes possible. And please, we extend our invitation to any project you would like to develop with us. Always very invited to Delta V.
Teacher, I think it's very important in the working interdisciplinary. In the moment the word is important. It's important in human science, in the learning science. It's important in the students in the project in the solving problems social in the moment is very much important.
You are right, perfectly. I have to express my gratitude to all of you for your work, your time, and your dedication. I really appreciate it. A hug, and my thankfulness is huge. Goodbye.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, Diego.
Goodbye, teacher.
Yeah, thank you, Diego.
Thank you. Bye.
I wish we could have much more time, but Eliana wants to
Bye.
say something. Eliana, are you happy now? You can apply this methodology, and you contact Carolina, because you can follow Carolina. Carolina, if you have any contact, to pass it to Eliana, because
Yes.
that methodology
Yes.
that you are doing will help her in her work as well. If you have any contact, please.
I written my telephone in the chat.
Excellent.
Okay. Thank you.
And look at
Bye.
this methodology with 40 students would be excellent. And you can invite Santiago and Juan Jose to make a presentation to your group, and you will have these students motivated to study engineering. Nicolas Gaviria is also a teacher, so she can also invite all the people to their classes, so they can feel motivated to participate in engineering.
Yeah,
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
teacher, and thank you for all research to explore the research.
Andres.
Yes. I just wanna say, and I just wanna ask Santiago, maybe he can contact me, or I can contact him privately, because I wanna know deeply what the project is. Maybe I can have people to participate on it, helping with any electronic needs or something like that. I was not aware that that Santiago was the one. I start to see his face on the call, and okay, good to see you, Santiago. Great. I would like to know. Let me know much more about your project from privately, please.
Well, Andres, thank you very much. Thank you for that extension of your help, please. Yes. Let me give you my cell phone. So you can
Yes.
WhatsApp, or
thank you.
My how do you say that? Sorry.
The WhatsApp.
Yes, please. I apologize. I was not able to be since the beginning of the call, and I am not able also to see your presentation, but I would like to know much more about it. It sounds so interesting, and I would like to help if I can. Okay.
Thank you. No, you are always welcome to know more about Delta V. Thank you very much.
So I am happy because look at now we making exchange of information and that is the objective. I think that now somehow the objective is achieved. We motivate other people, we open branches, we connect people, and that is fantastic. Thank you. Have a great afternoon and lots of blessings. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eliana, thank you. Andres,
Bye.
thank you.
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. And happy Mother's Day.